A beautiful afternoon. Thanks for joining us on the program Flipside. If you are in Benin City, Edo State, actually anywhere in Edo State, you will know that it's really a bit difficult to find your way to the next location you want to go to. Apart from the fact that you find a lot of boys and young people on the streets, you also find security operatives in some parts of the city trying to stop you from getting to your destination, and that's because of the NSAS protest. It actually started with NSAS, but it seems like the demands have moved beyond just ending SARS to several other things, and some people don't even understand what they are demanding for. Like if you watch the news on Monday, you would see a lot of issues, hoodlums, dogs joining into the protest. They are Nigerians too. They have a right to also scream for what they want. But the only problem there was there were no placards. There was nobody giving tangible interviews to say this is what we're saying, unlike the previous days before that. Nothing to show what their cries are. It was just really rowdy and really, really scary. And that has led to a curfew being placed in Benin City right now. Apart from Edo State, other states are also experiencing some level of unrest. Reports just reaching us this afternoon said in Aba, there were protesters there, and the security operatives soldiers tried to stop the protest. Is it about Abia? I'll confirm that before we're done. And they practically chased the soldiers away with their weapons, and they all ran. The youths are not smiling. I have two youths in the house today that will be talking with me on the matters arising in the NSAS protest. They started from the beginning, and what's the way forward? What can we do now? I have the two people here you've seen before. One you've seen more than the other, yes. Well, you've seen Malvis. I almost called you Marcus again. Malvis Iyamu is actually representative from the African Youth Parliament. He's been here before. I want to say welcome again to Flipside.
Thank you very much.
And Precious Oroche, you've seen her on Flipside before. You've also seen her repeatedly on the program Ladies Night on television. Yeah, on Ladies Night she's Mama P. She looks all fly, makeup and all that, but she's just coming from, they are both coming from the streets. We have to pull them with their placards down to the studio to come talk. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Okay, the NSAS protest. We've never really talked about this on Flipside. Last week, we only hinted on ways to keep safe. We didn't know it was going to get to this point, but we're just saying, what can we do so that it doesn't escalate? We just not knowing that a couple of days from there, it was going to be a lot of war. Well, how did it all start? Because we started with a little number of people in Lagos saying NSAS. Before we knew in Benin, the crowd was increasing. Was there like a meeting? How did it start? Let me start with you.
Okay, good afternoon, viewers, and Madam Desiree, for the opportunity to give us to once again express ourselves with respect to the, the legal struggle to end police brutality. You see, without even going to any history as to how it started, what it is right now is the simple fact that it's a mass movement. So when you begin to oppress people, when you tell people that you have no value, you have no stake in the affairs of the system of the government, whereby these people you try to ignore, you try to sideline, they are those that gave you their mandate to be where you are today. So it will get to a point where they will have to revolt. So the issue of NSAS, the issue of police brutality has been on. It has cost many deaths, has destroyed lives, it has destroyed properties. And our government has been so, quiet about it. They don't say anything, they don't make any measure to actually put an end to it. So it got to a point where people now say, oh no, enough is enough. It do not exceed this level. Let us tell these people that we are the people who gave you the mandate, to give you the power. The power belongs to us. So if you are not ready to take this thing in a very quiet and respectful manner, we are talking about it. At this point in time, we are now going out to say we don't want this again. So there was never a meeting, there was never a conference, there was never anywhere they gathered to say, okay, this is what we should do, or at this point in time we should now start doing this. It is like a revolt. People are not fed up, they are tired. Our parents are with us, everybody is part of this struggle. So those that cannot come out because of their age or their whatever, they are supporting in various ways they can support. If you go to Twitter sites of if you go to all social media handles, they are showing solidarity to end police brutality. So there was never any formal gathering or meeting to say let's embark on this. Okay. So the time has come to put an end to it. That's really what you are seeing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now the demand started with end SARS, and the government did try to stop SARS and said they brought up SWAT. And the people now said they don't want SWAT or SARS. Is it that they don't even want police? Then by the next day, the demands seem to be increasing daily. What exactly, as at now, are the demands for this protest?
End bad governance. It started with end SARS, right? Because of the police brutality. Adding to what he said, there was no meeting. It's just that each of us could relate to our pain. Oh, they don't fair arrest you before. Oh, the same thing they did to me. Are you coming out tomorrow? I will come out. So let them. It was mutual pain. Do you understand? Now it has migrated. The people's eyes are opening by day. If we can make them end SARS, that means we can make them reduce fuel price. That means we can make them reduce electricity hike. The people out there did not know their capacity, what they carry, their power. Most of them just thought they were slaves. But now they're beginning to realize we own this power. We gave them this power. Now they're coming up to say this is what we want. And if we want to be factual, what they're asking for is not far-fetched. Give us good rules. Let us live our lives. Give us good healthcare system. So the demands are actually increasing. But these are basic amenities. When you say the demand are increasing, it's as if we're asking for something that is not feasible. These things are feasible. At length, I don't know, but they said that 2021 budget has been submitted. But even as at this 2020, we've seen nothing but mischief and unnecessary hike in different prices. So the demands are actually increasing, but we're asking for what we've not been enjoying. How can a country as great as Nigeria be chased out of other African countries? Little countries that once looked up to us. So we are just tired. This end SARS thing became like this because this SARS has harassed both the good and the bad. So the good and the bad have messed up. I don't want to digress. I don't want to go so far, but I don't know if you get my point.
We do. It's okay.
For instance, SARS harassed me, stopped him. And after checking him, they see nothing in him and they let him go. He will preach the word. When you're talking about SARS harassing people, calling everybody Yahoo boy, he will say no. When they stopped me and they checked me, they saw nothing and they let me go. But now, even the innocent ones have been harassed and even money have been taken from them. So the good now and the bad are pairing up to say we don't want again.
Let me go on a quick break. All right, thank you so much for that. I really needed a timeout for me to get my throat cleared up. Now, the protest started very peacefully. People were at main gates, and when you get there, you just navigate through a bad road. But that was just basically how it was until Monday, what am I saying, until Friday, through Saturday. In fact, Saturday night, I had an experience. At Oluku, the roadblock was massive. These were thugs. They could not even read. Even if you bring your press ID card. They don't know what that is. I slept on that road till daybreak. I couldn't pass. We're just inside the car till dawn. And if the citizens, are now getting unhappy, I don't think we'll begin to fight each other and then the protest is useless. But anyway, that was just mild. By the next day, it was worse. Breaking into prisons and all that stuff. We got the clips, and they are saying protesters did it. Do you think we will still achieve what this protest stands for, the reform of the Nigerian police and the ends to bad governance, if we are all shut up? Because that's where it's getting to. There's a coffee in Edo State now. There was a scare in Lagos last night. And gradually, people are going to get back into their homes. Do you think we'll still achieve results with the way things are going?
You know, in the atmosphere of a lot of struggle, there's one that's very certain, which is victory. That's why anywhere you see movements or activism, you hear people saying "Alota continua, victoria etc." which means that we'll continue to struggle because we are sure of victory. So it is expected in a mass movement like this where you see some doing what is good, some doing what is bad. So they all see it as an opportunity to tell the government that we are so angry, we are not okay, we are not comfortable with the way we've been led, with the way we've been managed, or with the way they've been taking care of, handling our commonwealth, you get. So in this case, let me assure you one thing here. You see, I'm smiling. I'm not smiling because I'm happy that I'm here, or I'm happy because I'm speaking like this. I'm smiling because I can see that, I've noticed that those blood that have gone down, those nonsense that have gone down in the course of this struggle against police brutality, that is being overseen by government of the day, especially in Lagos State. You will tell me that the family of those innocent souls that have gone down, will keep quiet in prayers, will keep quiet in everything to ensure that the justice is done in the interest of their dead ones. No. So let me tell you what it is, or the implication of what is happening, or what the government think they are taking so calmly, is that the souls, the blood of those innocent ones that have gone down will never rest. It will continue to torment them. It will continue to disorganize the government while we are being ignited, while we are being encouraged, while we are being, re-strategized, while we are strategizing to ensure that we fight the fight to finish.
Okay, now talking about the government being involved in this, it's complicated.
Let me tell you what.
We can't prove.
Let me tell you something.
Now, if in Lagos State, the state government has denied involvement in what happened last night.
Yes.
People said it was.
But should I tell you something now?
He's denied it. The Nigerian army has also denied it.
And the governor himself, in person of Mr. Babaji Sanwo-Olu, said this morning that nobody died, nothing happened. There was no gunshots, nothing.
The police hadn't given him reports.
We have scores, we have records of those that were murdered. That were shot yesterday by security personnel. So let me tell you the implication of what they are doing. A few days ago, before now, Dele was trying to put himself in a place where people see him as a progressive. But he has, for the past how many hours, he has been able to show this to the world that he's a retrogressive. That is a murderer. Let me tell you what happened. A few days ago, sorry, thank you very much. Sorry,
I apologize.
I sincerely apologize for that particular word. But let me tell you the implication of his action. Because you cannot be the chief security officer of your state, regardless of your interest or your whatever affiliation, whatever it lies. Not being able to come out to tell the world the exact thing, whatever is happening. You went a few days ago to the president to tell the president how far you have gone, the measures you have put in place to ensure that the protest will be peaceful and to ensure that those outside will come back home. You went and you submitted documents to the president. You get? And you came back that you have gone far. And people were happy, like, our governor is with us. But in less than how many days or a few days thereafter, then you instructed that those people be shut down. And we counted over 72 scores.
Was there a press statement to read that he gave that instruction?
There was no press statement.
There's no press statement. It's just speculation.
Was there any counter statement that the government itself said, no, okay, since then, has it done anything?
With the way things happened yesterday, we are no longer fools in this country. We are no longer scared of calling names.
No.
Before now, we'll be scared of saying certain things. The lights went off. Lagos has been the most peaceful venue of protest so far. Even when Benin went AWIA, we were giving reference to Lagos. Like, look at Lagos. Lagos is peaceful. Let's behave like Lekki toll gates. But last night, the lights went off and suddenly there were shootings. Now, they cannot deny. See, if it was in the days of no internet,
do you think
nobody would have known what happened in Lagos yesterday. But we saw people's intestine coming out. There are video clips, and I can send it to this station.
We have clips.
Okay.
But I won't say, is it not possible that civilians like you and I put on military uniforms and
use military trucks?
It's possible. It's possible. Now, it happened last night. We're going to give him at least 24 hours to react. There's still time. Let's not begin to judge him.
But he has reacted by saying nothing happened. Nobody was shot dead.
Hold on. Maybe he hadn't gotten the report now. We know he has gotten reports. But I want to get your own opinion about the things being destroyed as just because of protest or because we're angry. In Lagos now, what has happened yesterday has prompted reactions. Although people also said that was what made thugs get into the streets in Benin. They hurt someone, and then the next day, everybody went AWIA. But they're burning our fellow media house. We heard TVC is on fire. There are other places that are being touched as we speak. Do you think that's the best way to go?
We personally, we dissociated, peaceful protesters dissociated themselves from anything violence. There was even a press briefing this morning in Benin City where we stated clearly that we are not part of those hoodlums. We know how to channel our grievances. Yes, we are protesting, but online petitions are going to UN, UK, and whatever countries that can help us. Do you understand? So we are not part, and we don't encourage violence. Even as at yesterday, we personally went from junction to sensitize those people. It's a federal fight. It's not a community fight. There should be no violence. As we're coming right now, we approach the soldier people by the roadside at Ubawade, where we told them, see, there are some miscreants at the back. Please go and caution them. We are peaceful protesters, and we are not leaving the road. But we will not encourage violence. We don't encourage violence. But so, the government keeping silence on us is fueling the anger of the illiterates.
So once the government, if the president gives a press statement now, a video, and addresses the youth, do you think we would calm down?
Not just a video. Let him match his video with actions. I don't think that if you just come out and say, we've been seeing videos, we've been seeing comments, from 2015, 2016, 2017 to 2020, even when Kolade Johnson was killed, we saw videos how the police SAS has been banned, how this has stopped. Now the people are tired. The people are tired. That's just the truth. We are tired. We no longer trust them. We've lost trust in them. You see some placards saying Buhari must go. That wasn't their agenda. The agenda was just to end SAS. But now we are tired of him. We are tired. We are just tired of the whole government system. Some persons were saying today that we don't want to go forward again. Let's go backward to where we used to be.
No.
Because it now seems better.
No. I think forward ever is always the way to go. Never backward. Now, there was something someone said Margaret Thatcher said about Nigeria, and said if she dies and comes back, reincarnates, and she wants to lead, she would rather lead Nigeria. Reason being that when you push a Nigerian to the wall, instead of them to fight back like every other person does, they'll break down the wall and keep running. But we seem to be seeing that as not what's happening in Nigeria today. Youth are in the streets, and everyone seems to be lending their voices to the struggle. There were also tweets. Twitter seems to be the place where everything is happening, that the press is ignoring protesters. They are not giving relevance to the protest, and that's why government too is not also seeing the seriousness of this protest. Most of our leaders are old, so they don't know what social media is about, but they watch print, they read print, they watch electronic media. Do you think we're not doing enough?
Yes.
We're not doing enough?
Yes.
Are you serious?
When Black Lives Matter was happening all over the world, you see media reporting for free. They were there to catch their own stories. Sometimes only a few media come on their own to assist us. We legit have to beg media to come and cover certain things. We legit have to beg them before they leave their station. I don't want to say that some of them are like police that you have to beg that robbers are in your area. And it is not nice. If all, I don't want to mention channels, but if all channels are showing it, when the president switch to channels is there, switch to ITV is there, switch to AIT is there, NTA, we know the country is on fire. But if only this channel keeps reporting police brutality, it will look as if it's a joke. So the channels have to sit up. That's just the truth.
Let me tell you the major reason why it seems that the media people are not being responsive to the issues that borders on the objectives of the police, simply because these media houses are being owned by the classmen. You get? So there's no how, there's nothing you can do about it. They must of course give order to them. You have to be able. Please don't report. Or not everything you see report. So they are classmen. So this is what let me tell you, in case we are not completely aware of it. It's a very simple struggle. The struggle is between, it's like a class struggle between the proletariat and the classmen, those in the position of authority. The bourgeois get. So we are the ones suffering it. Don't forget that this same generation, we have been called several names. We are called the phone press generation. Yes. We are called lazy youth. So see, this is the effect of, the resultant effect of bad, when you have no regard, when you do things with impunity regardless of the laws of the land. Let me tell you, our current managers, those are in position of authority that are managing our affairs as it stands today in this country, they have no regard for the laws of this land. They do things with impunity. They believe that when you do it, they are our boys, our people now, so know how to reach them. Let me tell you, as far as this struggle is concerned, it's a mass movement, in case you're not aware. We're not giving up. We are not working to impress anybody. As we speak, Nigeria is one of the most progressive, in fact, the most intellectually, ideologically, and theoretically conscious country. You get? When Mr. Mandela left prison, remember the struggle against apartheid. When he came back, when Nigeria was one of the first countries he visited to thank them. So we supported that country to gain freedom. So let me tell you the struggle. We are not fighting to impress anybody. We are not fighting to say, oh, because we are being paid. No, we are not anybody's payroll. It's a struggle that affects even generations that are born. Okay. Our grandfather generation failed. As I was coming here, people called me. Very older generation called me. As let me tell you, the fight people could not fight. We are fighting it. So don't even call me.
Okay.
So
talking about the fight, there's a part I am personally interested in. Okay. Is the protest has to remain peaceful. They said 30 days. We've not gotten to 30 days. Are there any structures in place to ensure that this protest does not degenerate to what happened? Because at Sapler Road, I don't know how protesters did it, but it was like the wall of Jericho. You know, they were outside of the gate, they shouted, and then prisoners were coming out. I don't know how that worked.
Okay. But it was
almost like so. So how do we make sure that it stays peaceful?
That question is a very sensitive question, and we will not be tempted to answer that question because, of course, you are speaking like one of us. You are young, of course. You are directly or indirectly part of the struggle. You can't speak. There are some level you can go to when it comes to nationalism. So that is, you leave that to us. It's a tactical and kind of a strategical struggle.
Because we need to have it, and it has to be peaceful.
We can assure you. A very senior military officer, as we're coming to this place just now, met us. We discussed and he gave us his words that, oh, he was going to cooperate to ensure that there's peace, that he has seen so far that this place is peaceful. So Union base has been peaceful. So what we tend to do, we want to extend the peace, the peaceful manner we operate there to other bases. You get? So just give us the time. We'll do everything possible. We are not hoodlums. We are not touts. We are not rioting. We are aware. We are protesting. We are openly, telling the people. We are telling them that enough is enough. We don't want this to continue. Nobody. We are not motivated. We are not ignited by anything. By a singular thing that we must be liberated. We must be free. You can't beg us to give you farmland to farm. And end up after farming and harvesting your crops, you start fighting us for giving you free land to farm. It's not done anywhere. See, don't forget, and I keep telling people, the current president of this country, I don't want to mention the president of the number one of this country, is the chairman of ECOWAS. He should be conscious by now to know that this thing, if proper care is not taken to degenerating to something else, because you can't push anybody to the war and expect that place to be calm. We have been pushed to the war, and a rash action is expected. So what I want to say is that don't push us to a level where we can start giving us some strategic plans on how to achieve our aim. Of course, we are already close to victory. We are sure of victory. So it's a movement. That's why you see what's saying every day that Aluta Continua, Victoria, etc. We move. Okay. So don't worry. Okay. Thank you.
I hope to see the peace in it all, which is what we're all fighting for. We had a lot of stories, a lot of scary stuff. There was a case of a married woman, a nurse, who they even called into Manaran Town yesterday on radio. They stopped her. She was driving. Her child was sick, so the child was in the car. They were going to work. And then they asked her who she was, where she was going. So she said she's a nurse. Where's your uniform? Luckily for her, she had the uniform in the car. She brought the uniform. They told her, Madam, well, you are changed if you really are a nurse. Now, how do you tell a married woman to strip in front of you and change in the name of protest? These are the kind of things we don't want to see. I tell you, I'm a press person. I'm going to work. If we are not here, how will people hear your cry? There are some people that will never open Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. They don't. It's only television they know. And then you tell me, go back home. We don't want to see this thing. So if you're assuring us that peace will come, then we're cool. We want the peace. Let the voice be heard. Now, talking about the reaction of the international community, do you think they're giving us enough attention so far?
Yeah, I don't think personally it's enough. But for the stage we've gotten to, they've tried. Do you understand what I just said? Personally, I don't think it's enough. Because when George Floyd was killed, I know how Nigerians took it. As if it was our fight, like, it's you get. But they are trying. Let me just say they are trying. But if we persist, if we continue, they have no option. The president of Renault Mockery told Donald Trump out blunt that if he can sanction these governments, that he is assuring that Nigerians in diaspora in America will vote for him. So Nigerians, top Nigerians that understand the struggle are all lobbying to get one result: justice. Justice for the oppressed, justice for the killed, the ones that have been killed. So personally, I don't think the international community is giving us enough. Yes, CNN is reporting, some international news are reporting, some international stars are retweeting, posting it, but it's not just enough. And that's why we are here to put more pressure on them. We are tagging them day and night. Just the way we are tagging you, we are tagging them. And they will keep seeing it. The world will be at unrest until they give us the necessary attention, the desired attention.
Let me quickly add to what she just said.
Time is up.
See, we are not fighting for any international community to just come to our aid immediately. Let me say, you will fight it to a level whereby they will say, okay, we have tried. It's our fight, it's our cause. So we must push it to a level whereby anybody coming, whether international or local, come to support us, will say, okay, yeah, no, this shows that they really want freedom. All they want is freedom. All that countries are fought for independence and freedom. Who supported them? They started themselves. Of course, we are on it. We are peaceful. It's a mass movement. It has no leadership. That's where that's what we are even getting on our government. They want a leadership movement whereby they can call you and say, okay, let's call your best order. We have no leader. We are all boys. We are all leaders. So it's a movement that to liberate our people. So we move. It's a movement. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, we move. End such protest. That's actually a word that has been very common this year. We move. Now, the year 2020 seems to be having a lot of struggles in it, from coronavirus to this protest now, and no one knows what the end of the year is going to hold. But one thing is sure, they seem to all be saying one thing: end to bad governance. We want our basic amenities, which is actually our human rights, to be given to us. Well, I would always stand for the progress of our nation. Whatever we're all doing, let's ensure that we're pursuing peace. That is the message. You want to protest, it's not a riot. Ensure it stays a protest and not a riot. We want peace. It's only when we're alive we can enjoy the country we're trying to build. I'm Daisy Leo Asikidi. Thank you so much for watching.